lot about the breathing. One of the things I mentioned in the article is how I felt like I was almost breathing with my neck. Doing that perpetually over the course of the day, plus with weight loaded on my back, made it really tough for me to actually fill up and brace my core the way that I needed to. So this exercise addresses that. It also addresses the fact that for me, when I start to get unstable, coming out of the hole in my squat, instead of keeping this tucked in and the pelvis facing each other, you can actually see me kind of start to extend. What that does is cause me to, number one, lose depth, which I really can't afford to do to meet. I'm someone that squats kind of borderline anyway. And then number two, it causes me to lose stability in terms of getting my glutes to function, getting my core to function, everything that I need ultimately to get power production out of the hole. So one other thing I really wanted to talk about was the utility of a balloon with some of the PRI breathing exercises. These exercises are primarily designed to both facilitate or turn on certain chains muscles or just get them working, as much as they are designed to shut certain things off. I've found that in the past, I've used the balloon for a couple of things. In this particular instance, and I bring this up because it's gotten pretty popular on YouTube, blowing up the balloon to try and activate your core muscles. If your core muscles aren't working, your diaphragm's not working, or I'm not even going to use the word not working, but if things aren't doing what they need to be doing at the right time, when you're not adding resistance, generally adding more resistance probably isn't a good way to jumpstart them. So if after something like the safety bar squat, I'm already starting to breathe with my neck, when I breathe in, when I blow out with the balloon, watch my neck muscles here. You can kind of see an increase in tone versus someone that can breathe in and blow out properly. With an emphasis on dropping the ribs down. For this particular course, I found that adding the balloon actually made things worse. So I went back to the just plain 90-90 hip lift to get position and shut off my neck and let my ribs drop down and find my core. This exercise, you're going to lie on your back, hips and knees bent at 90 degrees. I've got a small foam roller I'm going to use between my knees. What I'm doing is utilizing my hamstrings based on where they attach on the ischial tuberosities or right on your butt bone. So pull down just from my tailbone up. Now immediately, it's hard for me to shut off my back and shut off my abs and just use my hamstrings. But if you can envision the bottom of the squat where my hips tend to pop up and I extend my back for stability, getting some hamstring work to kind of pull that under you is a good way to get that back. I'm just going to perform this exercise and hold for 5 deep breaths, focusing on a full exhale to get my ribs to come down to achieve the alignment I want in my squat. You can probably actually see my back even melt a little bit. One thing you may notice is how your neck muscles feel as you do this. I'm going to put my arms to the side to try to encourage my chest to open up a little bit as I breathe and let my neck relax, while still dropping my ribs down. There's a lot of emphasis on the lower ribs, but you can imagine the upper ribs dropping down as well, and that'll help give you the alignment you want. You can hold that for 1 repetition of 5 breaths, and then you can do 5 reps. Again, it's nothing fancy, but the big picture you want is hamstrings working to give you good position. And from there, you're getting your hamstrings and ribs to kind of work together to get you in position and maintain it under